You think time flows and therefore you exist. As you walk toward the future, you experience something new and believe that destiny awaits you like an unwritten blank page. But what if everything has already happened? What if you are merely experiencing what has already occurred? In Sufism, this question is asked from such a place that it shatters all sense of time in your mind. Because, according to Sufi philosophy, destiny is not written, it is read. In other words, you do not create your fate. You are witnessing what has already been written. You are in a state of witnessing, and life is like a book that you are reading. But you are not the author of that book. This is the gateway to Sufism. If you want to learn that time doesn't actually flow and that you are the one moving, subscribe to the channel now. Because after entering through this gate, past, present, and future will merge into one another. Time, as we call it, is a sense of direction, a perception of movement, an idea of beginning and end. But according to Sufi wisdom, this is merely the result of our limited perception. Because we are limited. Because we see one thing coming before another and another coming after. But for God, there is no before or after. There is no beginning, no end, because He is beyond time. He sees all times simultaneously. And here comes the mind-burning statement, everything has already happened. This moment is merely a repetition. You think you are experiencing it, yet you are experiencing what has already been. This does not diminish you. On the contrary, it brings you closer to truth. Because you are part of a plan, you just cannot see it. We believe time flows linearly. We come from the past. We arrive at the present. We walk toward the future. But in Sufism, it is taught, time is circular. The beginning is at the end. The end is at the beginning. That is, the universe's secret is hidden in the circle, not in a line. Because a line gives you a direction, but a circle shows you wholeness. Everything is contained within. Everything happens at once. And when you realize this, you discover the freedom hidden within the destiny presented to you. Because, according to Sufi understanding, destiny is not a scenario taken from your hands. Rather, it is the plan most suited to your truth. Whatever your essence is, that is what befalls you. Whatever your soul's language is, the story you live is written according to it. But this writing is not done with a pen. It is done with a truth. Because God knows your depths before you exist and places the most fitting mirrors in your life for you. One mirror is joy, one is loss, one is friendship, one is betrayal, but they are all there to show you yourself. That is what destiny is. Destiny is not what befalls you, but the truth that runs through it. But what about freedom? If everything has already happened, what am I deciding? Here, one of Sufism's deepest concepts comes into play. Will is an attribute of God working within you. That is, you choose, but that choice is one suited to your truth. You are actually choosing who you were already meant to be, and this is not a contradiction. It is a depth. Because freedom is not choosing every path, it is choosing what suits you best. And wherever your essence is being drawn, that is already your destiny. So destiny is not text coming from outside. It is the voice of your inner self. But hearing that voice is not easy, because the mind always wants other paths. Greed drags toward other roads. Fear pushes toward side paths. But the heart always calls toward the right path. In Sufi teaching, it is said, your path is your essence. To stray from the path is to forget your essence. This is why destiny is not a chain. Destiny is harmony with essence, and time is merely witnessing this harmony. What you call your future is not even your past for God. because He knows everything simultaneously. But this knowing does not cancel your path, because God gives you will, gives you intellect, gives you conscience, and you walk with them. As you walk, you make choices. As you choose, you unravel your own destiny. But that destiny is already written, and that writing is carved within you. That is why, as you walk in this world, you read your own interior. You think you're looking at the outer world, yet that world is a reflection of what is within you, like looking in a mirror. But that mirror shows not your present state, but what you are meant to be. According to Sufi wisdom, time is divine attributes clothed in form. That is, each moment is under the dominion of an attribute. One day it is the merciful, one day the mighty, one day the seeing, one day the avenger. You are shaped by those attributes. That is why destiny is not only your path, but also God's attributes becoming visible in you. This is why every event you experience is a teaching, and that teaching becomes visible through time's passage. But you think it is happening now, yet everything has already happened. You are merely witnessing, and as you witness, you understand, and as you understand, you return to yourself. As time flows, you think you understand. Yet truth is hidden outside of time. One of the secrets of Sufism is this: existence is not a state, it is an awareness. That is, you are not changing. You were already yourself, but you didn't realize it. What you call life is an awakening process that makes you aware of yourself. That is why time is actually not transformation, but recognition, and destiny is the book of that recognition. Everything is written, but that writing is hidden in your heart. The perfect human is the one who can read this writing, the one who knows their own destiny and lives its depth. But how is this knowledge attained? According to Sufi teaching, the knowledge of truth does not come from outside. It cannot be learned by memorization, cannot be grasped by reading. That knowledge comes through unveiling. That is, an inner veil is lifted. You begin to see, and when you see, time breaks. Because now past, present, and future appear to you through the same window. The person who experiences this no longer rushes, no longer fears, does not cling to the future, because they know everything has already happened. And this knowing is not indifference. On the contrary, it is a profound surrender, because you are living in harmony with your own truth, and that harmony leaves a peace in the soul. Here, Sufi understanding of destiny reaches its peak. Destiny is fixed in God's knowledge, but unfolds through your witnessing with your heart. That is, as you walk, roads do not appear before you. Those roads were already there. You simply begin to see them, and every time you see, there is a recognition within you, a feeling of, I knew this, a sense of, this is familiar. Because truth is a fragment of you, and every fragment wants to return to the whole. This return is what Sufism calls the spiritual journey. It is a person's return to themselves. But this return does not happen with time. It happens by passing through time, because time is a labyrinth. But that labyrinth is designed not to lose you, but to return you to yourself. And every pain, every loss, every waiting is like a letter carved into the walls of that labyrinth. If you learn to read, you will not be lost. This is why Sufi teachers, when speaking of time, always speak of the present moment, because the moment is the most real state. There is no past, no future, only now, and now is where God is most present. Because He is in a new creation every moment. He is doing something new every moment, every moment a new existence, a new birth, a new attribute, a new meaning. If you remain in the now, you will find him. But if you live in the past, you will be strangled by your conscience. If you live in the future, you will burn with your anxieties. That is why now is sacred, and destiny unfolds through the now. What you call, "This is how my destiny is actually your perspective in this moment. If the perspective changes, the path changes. If the path changes, the writing is read anew. Because although what is written seems fixed, your way of understanding is infinite. According to Sufi wisdom, truth does not change, but its reflections constantly transform, and as you witness those reflections, you witness your own interior. This is why the perfect human is one who surrenders to destiny. But at the same time is the person who lives while being aware of their destiny. That is, they both walk and know, both feel and are silent, both weep, but within them a secret smile, because they know this too shall pass, because this too was written. And what was written is beautiful, because the one who wrote it is beautiful. The greatest pain that befalls you is a birth, a breaking, a building, because destiny sometimes breaks to build, sometimes takes to give, sometimes silences to let you hear. These divine paradoxes remove time from being a mere measure and transform it into a carrier of secrets. Time is no longer a calendar. It becomes a map, and you do not get lost on this map, because the compass within you has begun to work. The final call of Sufism is this: do not let time sweep you away. You witness time, because truth is not in time. It is in your vision. So stop now, look, ask, is what I am experiencing really happening now, or am I experiencing what has already happened? And a voice will rise from within your heart. Everything has already happened. You are merely remembering now.